I just knew he was a friend of mine, and I'd go. He's a guy. His accent he'd make you feel terrible just saying hello. Good morning. How are you? You just feel terrible. That kind of guy. Hello. How are you? You just you're like, get away from this guy. And so I said, if I'll do this kind of guy, it's just horrible attitude. It just sucks the energy out of the room. The kind of guy. And so you kind of look for that stuff with these characters, and then. And Adam all I ever wanted to be was a character actor. When we were starting, the one thing we had in common, Adam Sandler and I, is we couldn't get a job, we couldn't get shot. Finally, he got the first job of any of us. He got like this horrible movie called Shecky Moskowitz or whatever, and he was so excited. He's a movie? You're in a movie? That's ridiculous. It was just unbearable piece of crap that they finally really released after he became famous. But it was just amazing. We had Disney for 1,000 things. We'd never get anything. And it was like, if you get hired, and I'll put you in it. And if I get hired, I'll put you in it. It was that kind of this kind of lying to each other. But it was a thing where I just wanted to be like Peter Sellers or Alec Guinness. Just be these different characters. And I've gotten some flack about it. But it's like, hey, I think it's okay to not play your own nationality. I don't mind playing a Saudi prince or somebody. But if you start, I remember I played a Hawaiian guy at 51st Dates. It's like, hey, my grandparents are Filipino, my mom's Filipino. It's like, I grew up in, every summer, whenever we had money, we'd go stay with our grandparents. He was a poor guy in Hawaii. He lived in a dumpy place, no air conditioning. My whole childhood summers were running away from Samoans. It was called Beat Up Howley Day on Fridays. I'm not kidding. You had to run, get tan quick, and get away from these people. Say, listen, I know Hawaiian words. Don't beat the crap out of me. That was my childhood, so I feel like I could play Hawaiian and it's okay. Say, hey, brother, I'm gonna tell you something, brother. I knew it, and so I didn't feel it was bad. I think, hey, Brando played a pretty convincing Sicilian. Alec Guinness played a pretty convincing Arab, and so for me, it's like playing different stuff is what's fun.
He played a guy from outer space. Well, that wasn't Alec Guinness.
No.
Oh, that was the other.
Which one?
Who was the guy with the Force?
He wasn't.
Oh.
Alec Guinness was Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Was he?
That's right.
Sure, yeah. Well, that guy's incredible. That guy did amazing things, He had that great line in Lawrence of Arabia. England has guns, and that's what makes you great. He had this incredible voice, this English people, the way they talk. It was amazing. I like that Terry Thomas. Terry Thomas talked like this. He could get so high, after a while you couldn't even hear him after a while.
I have to say, I've done this show a long time. That's the first Terry Thomas.
I know, no one's done any players.
I'm probably the only one in the room who remembers Terry Thomas.
Well, those flying men in there flying jalopies.
Big space between his teeth.
That's a guy. Those character actors. They used to actually, have work in Hollywood or in England. Those Ealing comedies and those British comedies. And he's a guy. If he would have fixed his teeth, he never would have worked after that. His face in his teeth was his thing. You recognize it. He could put his thumb through it. That was his thing. But
Rob Schneider. You never made the point. You were talking about that guy Yuri and how obscure movies people yell these things out.
Yeah. So they yell it, and so people were yelling out. That's why you do this, Matty. You remember all these things. You're a good man. But it's people yell out stuff from this movie, and I said, look, I never even saw that movie. I have to explain to people. Sometimes I just make the movie. I don't even see it. That's like I never saw that movie.
He'll be yelling. Billy's got his beer goggles. Actually, tomorrow night, Rob will be at the Wilbur Theater, which is, by the way, a great room. You're gonna love that.
Yeah, that's a beautiful room. I was there a year ago.
Rob will be there tomorrow night for 2 shows. The early show at 7, and then the second show at 9:45.
Yeah, I know.
Picture of Terry Thomas up on the computer.
Yeah, there he is. How alive. That movie he did was The School for Scoundrels, which is a good movie. It's not a real movie.
Okay, these references are
that goes way back.
Yeah.
No,
the original school, yeah. Well, our audience saw the remake of it.
I don't know if they did either. That bombed.
Yeah, that kind of bombed.
But, hey, there he is.
I don't think Rob's going to do any Terry Thomas. Don't worry about it. The references will be from this century.
Yes.
TheWilburTheater.com for tickets. We'll just go to MattyInTheMorning.com and we'll link you over. Make it simple. Rob, always a pleasure. Nice to see you.
Hey, thanks for having me.